Welcome to another episode of Tapped In Sports. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your guy, Leo. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well as follow my Twitter. This episode was inspired by the media. Everybody, and I mean everybody, wants to go ahead and knock Jimmy Garoppolo and explain why he's not the quarterback of the future for the 49ers. First, it was Kirk Cousins. Kyle Shanahan wants his guy. Kyle Shanahan didn't draft Deshaun Watson. He didn't draft Patrick Mahomes because he wanted Kirk Cousins to be his guy. Uh, Kirk Cousins signed an extension with Minnesota. That's not happening, nor I would ever want that to happen. I was at that playoff game against Minnesota, and he's not the guy. Second quarterback was Tom Brady. Okay, Tom Brady's leaving New England, Bay Area guy. Let's bring him here to San Francisco to finish off a storybook ending. He went and signed with Tampa Bay. And the story continues to roll. Now it's Aaron Rodgers. The Packers traded up for a guy in the first round, drafted Jordan Love. Now, what's the future for Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to be a 49er now and go back to California? I don't see that happening. I believe Jimmy Garoppolo can be the guy, and I'm going to go ahead and explain here. So this is my video of 5 reasons why Jimmy G will have a big year, and I'll get into what do you consider a big year. But first, I would like to give my own personal healthcare worker shout out. This one is kind of special to me because it is my own fiance, Victoria. She's a healthcare worker. Um, Even with the virus going on, she did a couple tests and she continues to go to work and put her hat on every single day. So not only I appreciate you, I know everybody else appreciates everything that you're doing and fighting this virus. So thank you. And back on to Jimmy G. So what I would consider as a big year is someone who throws over 4,000 yards, someone who throws roughly about 27 touchdowns. So that's what he had this season, but 10 or less interceptions. So I believe that's where he can improve. So 10 or less interceptions, maybe 9 would be a better number to say. So single digit interceptions and obviously a pass rating of over 100. So first reason, one full season under his belt after injury. There was questions early on as far as minicamp, preseason, that game against the Denver Broncos in preseason did not look very warming on the type of year he would have. That's what I love about Garoppolo is he has that confidence. He put that behind him, and he didn't let that bleed into the season. And so now he feels a little more healthier. You saw it towards the end of the season. He had a little more juice to him, trying to extend plays and just being more comfortable with that knee. In the first full season, he went 13-3 with the Super Bowl appearance, 69% completion, just a notch below 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That's a hell of a year for a guy coming off an ACL. I don't know what the NFL was doing when they gave Tannehill Comeback Player of the Year. I don't know what he's coming back from. Is he coming back from a terrible franchise in Miami? Not sure. But Jimmy Garoppolo came back from an injury, and he didn't always have a perfect pocket, as you can see in these highlights I have here. He did have a lot of pressure coming up the middle, and I'll get into that a little bit as well. Second is in Kyle Shanahan. In my mind, he's the best offensive play caller in the league. This past season, they were 4th in total offense. So get this, Jimmy Garoppolo is putting up this offense, leading this offense as far as the 4th in total offense, 2nd in rushing offense. Now, yes, that does not happen if a quarterback doesn't have good play fakes. If he's just an obvious, I'm going to hand this ball off, and that's why their play action beats so well with their rushing, is because Jimmy Garoppolo is passionate in what he does, and he doesn't complain about being the 2nd in rushing offense. He enjoys it as long as they win games, and he's obviously done that in his career. as well as second in points per game. And there's things to improve on. There's interceptions that I believe Jimmy Garoppolo probably doesn't make in his second full season as a starter. So third is more yak coming in, so more yards after catch. And that's what the 49ers did fantastic in 2019. They added Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State in the first round. They added Juwan Jennings in the draft from Tennessee. Uh, there's a possible return of Jalen Hurd, as you saw in the preseason game. The one preseason game he played against the Cowboys, he was a monster with 2 touchdowns. And so Kyle Shanahan does a lot to get those yak opportunities, as 62% of the passes were in between the numbers. And that gave Jimmy Garoppolo an opportunity to put the ball in a position where these receivers could catch it and run. And so even though he had the lowest air yards in the league, he had the third highest yards per attempt because of this yak ability. And now you're giving him more guys. I mentioned 2 through the draft, 1 possible return from injury. And who knows, Trent Taylor could come up and do a little yak as well, because he's a guy who's fantastic from the slot. And then lastly, Kittle and Deebo Samuel were second and third in the league in most yards after catch per reception. Let's just leave that out there. And then fourth is a revamped offensive line. They added Pro Bowler Trent Williams during the draft. They released guard Mike Person. And Mike Person's, great guy, but he wasn't the best in pass protection, as you did see a lot of pressure coming into Garoppolo's face. And that's not the easiest thing to do when you got to step in and drive the ball, especially coming off an ACL injury. And then my guy, Joe Staley, retired. Great for him, great for his family. And, he's done everything for this franchise. So no hard feelings there. And then Daniel Brentskill, he's expected to step into that starting guard spot to fill in for Mike Person. Brunskill is a guy who was 80.9 in PFF grade for his pass blocking protection. I think that's huge for Jimmy Garoppolo, because now he has an upgrade at the right guard spot with Brunskill being there. That's going to allow him to release the ball, which he already has a quick release anyways, but it allows guys to get open, especially through the middle of the field. And then with Trent Williams, you're not seeing a downgrade at the left tackle spot. So I believe their offensive line got better in this offseason. And then finally is that 2020 schedule. And this is why, is their first 4 games is against a weak secondary. So Jimmy Garoppolo is a guy, like I said, already has all the confidence in the world. Now you're giving him 4 games to start the year against a weaker secondary opponent. That's just going to give the guy even a higher confidence, if that's possible. But now you're getting him into that groove to the other 12 games. 4 of the 5 primetime games are at home. And that's huge, because as you guys saw last year, the faithful, they did show out in those home games. 4 of the first 6 games are at home, as well as I don't consider a 3-game death stretch as they had last year with the Packers, then at Baltimore, then at New Orleans. I don't see this in this schedule. New England, at Seattle, those will be tough. But then the following game is Green Bay. I think Green Bay could be a tougher opponent for the other teams across the league. But the 49ers shown multiple times that they could handle the Packers without ease. Even if the Packers do figure out a couple things or change a couple things on defense, I don't necessarily seen that their defense got better. But as far as strategy-wise, 49ers will be able to attack it differently, because the Green Bay, what they didn't see against their defense was the passing game. So now you're able to unleash Jimmy against Green Bay if they're able to stop the run. So that's why I don't really consider them uh, uh, the 3 game stretch. Is just those at New England because New England has an elite defense, and then at Seattle is always tough. Um, so let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and comment your opinions. Go ahead and comment topics if you would like to see me make another video on. Feel free to subscribe, and I appreciate you guys.